Make sure you go check out Eddie Mac Tattoos at Black Ink, Milwaukee, 1117 East Brady Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202. Go check them out. Scan that QR code to get all the contact information and the social media platforms to see the work. And Black Ink Milwaukee Tattoos does not share the same views and opinions as Street Nerds Podcast. They are their own separate entity. And make sure you go check out that Transferring Spirits with Orlando Brown, Hood Spiracies, Solve Coagula with Street Nerds Podcast with your host, Eddie Mack. Go like and subscribe to the channel. Check that video out also as well. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Witness Media Incorporated. Let us make you a witness. This is the Street Nerds Podcast, and this is your host, Eddie Mack. Y'all make sure y'all go stomp all over that like button. I mean, stomp it the out. Go crazy on it. It's free and it takes 1 second. Also, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get all our content when we drop it and help the channel grow. Welcome to the show. Okay, so this Terrence Howard interview on the Joe Rogan podcast, where he discusses his self-proclaimed discoveries in physics, draws a very interesting comparison to the 2002 Showtime series, The Man Who Fell to Earth. Now, in this interview, Howard delves deep into the theories about physics, specifically focusing on concepts like teleology, which involves his ideas on universal symmetry and unique perspectives on the fundamental nature of reality. Howard's theories are largely in line with the earlier works of a Walter Russell. With skepticism from the scientific community, who to me are just merely a part of the NPC matrix that overrules and stagnates legitimate physics. They are trying to belittle his work and stop the knowing that everything has a connection and everything is a part of one story. The Man Who Fell to Earth centers around an alien who arrives on Earth naked with advanced knowledge from a planet called Antea. Trying to understand and navigate through the human society while sharing his extraterrestrial insight, the protagonist struggled to communicate the advanced knowledge, and the reaction of the humans around him echoes Howard's experience as he presents his controversial theories to an eye-raising public. I'm going to highlight the comparisons and the relationships between Terrence Howard and Walter Russell and this black dude, I forgot his name in the show, and the white dude, Newton. Their relationships are very similar in the show. Watch. Also gonna highlight themes of innovation rather than traditional beliefs of things they show us on television merely being great writers and fresh ideas for a show. It's gonna demonstrate done in plain sight, truth shown in plain sight, and or cosmic universal law that says we have to be told what's going on only in whatever fashion or form they choose to disclose the truth in. Ladies and gents, I want to welcome you to Street Nerds Podcast. Yeah, go on and stomp all over that like button for me. We about to get into the meat of the situation. The receipts, my baby. Insight on what truth is and what's really going on. Well, let me introduce reintroduce Terrence Howard as the man who fell to earth.
I didn't come into this world the way everybody else does, I don't think. I used to think that everybody had the similar experience, but like if I asked you what was your first memory in life, what would it be?
I don't think I know.
My first memory was almost like when you're dreaming and you're falling and you hit the bottom and you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first memory, but I didn't wake up here. I was inside my mother's womb. And I was about maybe 6 months inside the womb.
Flying through space in a spacesuit at the speed of light towards Earth to save his planet and landing somewhere in New Mexico. After crashing, the alien takes on a human form and, while naked, sneaks onto someone's property, prompting the owner to call the police. When the police arrive, they find a man with a water hose in his mouth, responding to questions with disjointed words in broken English. At the station,
first year over at Pratt. And they, at the time, I think it was like 108 elements. And I told the teacher, the professor, about the relationship between hydrogen on the spectrometer and carbon and silicon and cobalt. And I was like, it's the same exact color, same tone, just doubled in each octave. And he was like, no, each element is the same element and it will always be that element. And I was like, you don't see the relationship. So I left school and I was going to spend 40 years rebuilding the periodic table. And I found out that Walter Russell had already did that. And he did it based upon the natural curvature of everything.
And when you say rebuild the periodic table, what do you mean specifically?
Well, the way the periodic table is laid out, the periodic table they have now,
Let's see.
it looks like a box.
Image of it.
It looks like a straight box.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't show the relationship that between every element, there's two
All right, here's the periodic table.
You'll see hydrogen sitting all the way over there by itself, but they don't show that hydrogen has the same tone as carbon.
What do you mean by tone?
Same tone, same key of E.
And the alien confesses that she shared his DNA with the old man, which is now rewriting Josiah's human genome, and what he will turn into is unknown. Josiah then leaves the house and goes to a bridge. There he finds a wasp nest and stares at it for a long time, and upon returning home, starts writing an endless equation. The doctor arrives and announces that his blood oxygen level is elevated. Justin blames everything on Faraday, but suddenly, Faraday realizes that Josiah translated his daughter's equation into sound frequencies and wrote a song, the key to the synthesis process. He sets up a keyboard instrument in front of the device and asks Josiah to play its melody. Well, the man begins to play, and gradually, by changing frequencies and tempo, he manages to activate the device.
towards his destination and soon sees a huge black cloud forming a tornado. Justin, also seeing this, turns back to find Faraday when he finds himself in the eye of the storm, teleported to a forest where he meets Thomas Newton, who is also an alien from Antea. Newton has learned to create spaces only certain beings can enter. He warns Faraday to stay away as agents are hunting him. In response, Faraday reproaches the teacher because all of Antea was waiting for his return with water. But time passed, and there were fewer and fewer Anteans left. They considered Newton a traitor, and even decided to erase his name from memory. But Faraday believes him. Then, Newton advises Faraday to introduce a virus into Antea, which he calls humans, and most importantly, to see everything through the eyes of a human, but not to get attached to earthly life. He sets Faraday a goal: reclaim the company taken from him, because there lies the key to salvation. But he will need Justin's help. Meanwhile, the woman tries to take shelter from the hurricane in her car. Suddenly, everything calms down, and she sees Faraday in front of the car, looking intimidating and repeating only one word: origin. Terrified,
Josiah notices that the fingerprints are disappearing from his fingers, and he hears synapses forming in his brain, and realizes that he's becoming an Anthean. Ant instructs to hide the device. It turns out that Faraday lost a lot of blood, but first the bullet must be removed. When Mary cuts the skin, strange tentacles jump out of the alien's body, frightening the sisters. But Mary assures them that he is an angel.
However, they will come together. The beginning of the second cycle was half a diameter of 7,000 years, in which you have what you call the angelic beings, be they agreeable Sarafat or disagreeable Garubat. They, the race of Natas, were cast down to the fourth plane, the mental plane, and made to dwell on the second plane, the plane of force, before their physical form. El Elo, the source, gave them rule in comfort until the end of the second cycle, or the 14,000 year after their creation. At the beginning of the third cycle, which took 7,000 years, you have the disagreeable Way, Garubat, and the agreeable Yah, Sarafat, both of which are called the Yahwehans or Jehovans, and you also have the process of the Adamites, of the 14 generations before the completion of the Adama project in the laboratory in Sidonia, called Shimti, the Lammahu Mars project, or the...
In the monastery, Mary sets up women on lookout posts, and Josiah announces that he's ready to give his blood to Faraday, convincing the sisters that he's a Nephilim, a half-angel, half-human.
These creatures are not aliens, Mr. Ike. These creatures are sexually compatible with our women. And what does that tell you? It tells you that they came from here. They are part of us.
Need I say more on the similarities? Don't worry, there's more. I mean, literally, when you get into the meat of the situation, which we love to do here on Street Nerds Podcast, and because I'm giving it to y'all this exclusively, because I'm the first one to break this story, I'm gonna need y'all to stomp all over that like button and please subscribe and help build this channel, because we about to go even harder. Terrence Howard, we with you, and I'm from, and if you need some protection or some aid and assistance on anything, feel free to always contact me, brother. I got your back. But I don't have to say nothing about the similarities between Terrence Howard and Walter Russell's work. If you look into the story on what happened to Walter Russell and how he was gypped out of all his discoveries and his innovative thinking, and how Terrence Howard just completed the work, it is the same way in the show that the Newton white guy was sent to Earth in a white body, started the work, was cheated out of it, and then the black guy was sent to finish it off. It's the same story, guys. This is crazy. They tell us right here in our faces what's going on in real time, y'all. All right. I'm gonna need y'all to stomp all over that like button. I mean, stomp it the out. I'm talking about go crazy on it. It's free and it only take a couple seconds. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get all our content that we drop. At least trying to drop a couple of videos a week, starting out. It's a new channel. Help us build and grow and become part of the family here at Street Nerds. I want to give a shout out to Witness Media Incorporated. Let us make you a witness. And I want to also say that this is part 1 of the breakdown, because it's more to come. Oh, it's a whole grand conspiracy. Like it gets deeper and deeper. And it also ties into a lot of other black innovative thinkers like Dr. Delbert Blaine, Dr. Malachi Z. York, how they've been telling us the same things that they're showing us now in the videos, in the TV shows, the movies, about our history and what really happened. These men were trying to tell us years ago. And unfortunately, they were stopped by the powers that be. But we're just going to keep on coming. And we're going to keep on flowing. And they ain't going to be able to stop us all. So I'd like to encourage y'all to come seek out the truth here with us at Street Nerds Podcast. This is your host, Eddie Mack. And again, I want y'all to stomp all on that like button for me and hit that subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get all the content dropped. Here at Street Nerds, we're trying to drop a couple of videos a week, starting off some new channel. Go ahead, become a part of the family. Help us grow, help us build. Help seek the truth. We do not want to recreate already done content. We want to give you fresh, figured out pieces put to the puzzle of these things they try and call conspiracies, y'all. Yes. Highly doubted that they're conspiracies just because y'all don't want to deem them as fact. We know what's really going on. And y'all ain't fooling nobody. So again, stay tuned for part 2. We out.